Gunshots ring out as a new widow cries. Gunsmoke like curtains rolls to my sides. From the wreckage of youth, a gunslinger stands. Another life ends from once innocent hands. Chapters of life close and are burned. Lessons are dollars, each must be earned. Sitting in peril, I wait for the sun. One hand on my forehead, one on my gun. Bathed in the glory of a sunset's red rage, the dust storm is peaceful, it wipes me away. Wanted and sought for, my life is a game. As much as I wish, I can't kill my name. Chapters of life close and are burned. Lessons are dollars, each must be earned. Sitting in peril, I wait for the sun. One hand on my forehead, one on my gun. Killed in the darkness of sleep's quiet stage, night after night, dreams ending the same. Someday my saga will end in a blast. Too short, too angry, and not how I'd ask. Chapters of life close and are burned. Lessons are dollars, each must be earned. Sitting in peril, I wait for the sun. One hand on my forehead, one on my gun.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to HVAC Shop Talk podcast. I'm your host, Zach, the Thrill Ride Ciota, and you're on the Thrill Ride. Oh, yeah. Everything HVACR asks, what's it take to get a ballad? To get a ballad, if you are a cowboy or whatever, typically you got to go, you got to go Buster Scruggs at the end and take one right in the hat. Death is final. Death does have a finality to it. I do believe it does. It does seem like it's final in many cases. In many cases, death is final. I put a poll up in my yard to hang clothes from. I also put a poll up in the chat, which is the one I'm going to talk about now. What is better for service, truck or van? This is a new conversation, right? Let's talk about trucks and vans. Well, 14 of you chimed in, and you said van. Well, 64% of you said van, and 64% of you are wrong. But thanks for trying. Ballads give you that everlasting, worldly appeal. Because people go singing your ballad 200 years from now, maybe. I don't know. Speaking of that sort of, it's like a Western thing. I'm thinking about cowboys and ballads and stuff. I remember, I think it was the movie Tombstone. Tombstone is really a fine movie. Okay, we've covered this before. It's not air conditioning related. It's fine. We'll get to it in a minute. Tombstone and Wyatt Earp came out like the same year. Let me tell you this. Tombstone and Wyatt Earp are both great movies. But Tombstone, because of Val Kilmer, has a special quality. It's got a special quality. Yeah, a Prius. I forgot to write Prius. Oops. My bad. My bad. Yep. Now, let's see here. We got, let's see who we have in the chat. Chatterizing. We have John Harrell, who was here early. Mark Cotter, a channel member. Hey, Mark. Thank you, sir. Susie Dunn, Everything HVAC Aura. Dustin Hendricks. Robert Ornelius. What's going on, Robert? I haven't seen your name in the chat in a while. I might have just missed it, but I don't think I've seen it in a while. How's it going? We got HVAC Technician Talk. There's John Israel. We have Dustin Hendricks. We have Clint Glasgow, another channel member with a big 6x, which means he's been there for a while. Clint's been there the longest. He's the man. Thank you, Clint. We got, let's see who else we got here. East Coast. We have East Coast. Were you late? Typical. Turnabout's fair play, East Coast. All right. I'm just kidding with you. Take it easy. Don't go on some kind of rant or something. Let's see. Yep. Hey, I appreciate it, Robert. Says it's been a while. Okay, so y'all were talking about Cowboys of HVAC. We actually have the Cowboys here. John's in the chat. I'm right here. Cowboys forever. And, in the, Cowboys of HVAC, that described like getting it done in the service field by whatever means necessary. That doesn't mean doing something that's going to blow up in 10 minutes. That means doing something creative to get your problem solved. And in the spirit of that, here. This is funny because I have this just sitting here. I found that. I found a whole bunch of those in a drawer over there. So there you go. There's a cowboy sticker right there. Hey, just 6 years too late for the podcast. It's all right. What's up, Mikey Pipes, the pipe doctor, plumbing and heating and air. So if you need plumbing, but you also need heating and air, you can call Mikey Pipes. He has you covered on both sides. That's really great. That's really great. John says truck with service bed. That's where I roll. Truck with service bed. Sounds good to me. I always love that. I love it. I love it. Made in the USA says, yo, hey, Made in USA. Yo, how's it going? So I know there's a bunch of tornadoes out there. I see somebody's talking about tornadoes in the chat. I hope everybody is safe and sound out there along with your loved ones and pets and all sorts. It was a pretty rough go is what I heard. And hope everybody's doing okay. I know everybody's not. I know there were some people lost their lives today. So going out to them, our happy thoughts and prayers to their family to get back to normal as soon as possible. Cooling with Kraus is here. Cooling with Kraus. He's all right. Kraus, not Allison Krauss. Cooling with Kraus, okay? Not Allison Krauss. Although if he would sing Don't Close Your Eyes, I think it would be nice. I think it would be really nice. All right, we're going to close out that poll. 22 votes. Van wins 68%. It's hard to believe so many people can be wrong, but they can be. And let's see here. Van with racks. All right, I have Van with racks. You ching, 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 gling, 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 ching, ching, ching all day long. Ching, 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 copper, 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 copper. That's all you hear all day long. Hey, Beard Stroking HVAC. I like your name. I like your name, man. That's pretty good. The vans, they make too much noise. There's noise everywhere. What's up, Dizzy Dallas? Everything rattles and jingles in the van. I got sick of coils of copper going kink, 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 kink. And then like you throw something to hit it and it would stop for a second. You'd be like, all right. You get back on the interstate, clink, 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 clink. Be like making an angry face. Angry. What's up, Raw Mesa? How's it going? So tonight on the Air Conditioner Shop Talk show with your host, Zach Ciota from North Carolina, we have a variety of subjects that we can talk about, as we always do. We just rambling back and forth, sometimes with subjects, sometimes with not. I will invite you guys. I will tell you. I'm going to put a link in the chat. And if you want to pop in, if you hear something during the show you want to chime in on, like for a second, not like for 30 minutes, like if you want to chime in on something, you can pop in here. And if I see you over there, which I will, I'll be looking, you can chime in on it. If you aren't testing, you're guessing. That's right. If you aren't testing, you're guessing. Who said that? Somebody said that. I've heard that somewhere. You got to test. You can't guess. Beer can cold. Am I right, guys? It's bad. Beer can cold's bad. unless Jose de la Portilla tells you to do it, which he did do it in a training seminar. So kind of confused there. We're going to talk a little bit about GRI tonight because Adam Haichi, my Japanese friend who was on the show last time, he was talking about GRI. I know nothing about GRI except for they were really cheap last time I checked, which was 7 years ago. So they're probably still cheap. I don't know. Mike, someone said that a long time ago. If you're not testing, you're guessing. That might be Bergman or somebody. And Kraus says the pipe doctor said, yeah, pipe doctor has confirmed that he said that, but I know it came from a long time ago. I want to say it was Eddie Leverage, but I think someone said it before him. I'm not sure. Maybe Eddie knows if he's watching tonight. Okay, then. All right. All right. Let's go to an email to break the ice here. Let's do that first. We're not going to go GRI. Let's see. We can go to emails. All right, yeah. If you want to pop in here, you can. I'll put that link in there more than once. If you want to chime in on something, feel free to chime in on. Dizzy Dallas says Eddie. Yeah, I remember Eddie saying it. I do remember that. He was all about testing. All about testing. Poor Eddie. Poor Eddie. I hope you're doing all right. Let's go over and look at some emails. Oh, look, I got smaller. That's nice. So I got an email. This is kind of a funny thing because I get emails every day about some random stuff. Anyone who makes channels that has a decent amount of subscribers, like mine does, a lot. I should probably have a check by my name as well. I have so many. Okay. But I get emails like this. This one says, Dear Businessman. That's pretty personalized right there, guys. Dear businessman, I am a businessman. How do you know? I am John Smith. That's pretty plain right there. I have a feeling his name is really Chang Pao or something like that. I am John Smith. I am here to help you improve your online reputation by providing 5-star reviews and pushing down negative reviews. That seems like that's immoral. I don't know about that. Providing you with 5-star reviews? Now, is he soliciting your existing customers or is he creating customers? I don't know. I will provide high quality 5-star reviews. It comes off like I will provide you with pure uncut cocaine. That's what I hear when I read that. I will provide high quality 5-star reviews for your business on various review platforms, such as Google, also known as GMB, somewhere. I don't know what they're talking about. Yelp, Trustpilot, Glassdoor, TripAdvisor. Is air conditioning contractors on TripAdvisor? I don't know about that. Who does the air conditioning at your Airbnb? TripAdvisor will tell you. I don't know. I will also utilize various techniques to push down negative reviews and prevent them from appearing at the top of search engine results. Hey, well, that's good. That's lies. I don't know. This seems bad to me. I don't know about this. All right. The second part says positive reviews can attract more customers. Hey, that's pretty smart. Yeah, you're right. If you had a bunch of positive reviews, you would be thought of positively. And increase your revenue, while negative reviews can have the opposite effect. Shut up. Really? I understand that maintaining a positive online reputation is crucial to your success, and that's where I can help. Note, if you like, we can work on Upwork and Fiverr. I know he's legit because he's on Fiverr. Only the top brass work out of Fiverr. All right, I'm gonna tell you that. I'm not saying Fiverr is bad, but it's the top brass right there. It's top brass. Mikey Pipe says he gets those all day long. Hey, I bet you do. I bet you get more than I do. There's tons of them. I'm testing out the Sang Sui temperature gauge that costs $12 on Amazon. I don't know. It's just, that sort of thing. So there goes a fantastic email. I only got one of those this time, even though there were more than one. Okay, yeah, there was more than one. So I have this GRI thing because I got thinking about GRI. I don't know if we can get started on GRI. Let's get started on GRI. And then if we get bored with GRI, because I'm going to tell you what, I did tune into TechTube. It's a YouTube channel which has some pretty good training on it. TechTube's got some pretty good training on it. I can't speak for all their stuff, but they have some good stuff on there. And I watched a GRI webinar that they had on there, and it was like a salesperson, but it was a salesperson that actually knows about stuff. It wasn't one of them salespersons like, yeah, this vacuum pump can really pump out vacuums. How's it do that? With its vacuum pumper. It wasn't like that. It was like a smart guy, but this guy, every single other word was vacuum, you know what? It's not a bad thing. His information was good, but it's just I couldn't even listen to it because it was like and the reason why it really bothers me is because I had to physically try to make myself stop doing that. And if I hear a bunch of them, then I'll start using them, and it's like an infection. Because in podcasting, that's like a cancer growth. Is hi, I me we I and you do that all day long. But it was good information. I learned about the degree flex, which is what I was trying to learn about because Adam came on the show. He's like, I might put a degree flex at my house. I'm like, okay, well that's cool. Let me learn what it is. So let's learn a little bit about the degree flex real quick. I like degree in general. That's right, Kraus. I said. Here's what I said. All right, there we go. I said I say you can probably find some of mine too. There's probably a few of them. All right, so let's look at some grease stuff. If you guys will agree. All right, here we go. Somehow, John, I knew you were going to mention Gil. When I put it up there, I was like, maybe I shouldn't even say this because I think John will immediately say something about Gil. Everybody be nice. All right, that's the second slide. Sorry. I made slides, sort of. All right, so this is degree flex. When you want to flex, this is going to be really, really, I'm not teaching a class here. I'm just saying that this is what I glean from looking at the degree website. So degree flex, high efficiency up to 17 SEER 2s, which is like 30 SEER 1s, guys, if you have to multiply it out. 10.5 HSPF 2, which is the new standard. Sound levels down to 45 decibels. I fart at 50 decibels, so that's pretty good. Horizontal side discharge on the outdoor condenser. Conventional 24 volts AC thermostat control. That kind of jumped out. It's one of the reasons why I put it up here. So the degree flex uses a just standard legacy wiring, if you want to call it that, thermostat. More familiar to people. Not the communicating stat. Whether that's good or bad, I don't know what your opinion is of that, each and every one of you, but there you go. It uses a regular thermostat, for lack of a better word. Eco-friendly 410A refrigerant. That's good. It's not anything that's going to explode, although I wonder if they're going to have to shortly, so I don't know. Adjustable 2/3 and 4/5 outdoor unit options. So, like a lot of the variable speed stuff, one condenser will cover a variety of capacities. Ultra high quality performance. Well, that's a little bit more of a subjective statement. So everything's objective, and then we have one subjective. Ultra high quality performance. Let's go on to slide number 2, guys. All right, something I saw here. The operating ranges on these are pretty extreme as far as how cold you can heat. And I was kind of wondering, because it says cooling, it goes from 5 degrees Fahrenheit to 129.2 degrees Fahrenheit. If 129.7, then you're screwed. Forget you. You're dead. At 129.2, you're covered. Heating is negative 22 degrees Fahrenheit to 75.2 degrees Fahrenheit, which that's pretty good, negative 22. So I was kind of wondering, like, what capacity is that at negative? One of the units is -5, one of them's negative 22. They said it's full capacity. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good right there. Big range, a lot bigger than you get with a random single stage machine. Let me sound that out real quick. So that was pretty good. So it had a wide range. You see it at the top, it says DC inverter series, so you know what we're talking about here. So let's go up to number 3. At number 3, I thought this was interesting right here. And I'm going to come back to a couple different things because I got to mention a couple people in a positive way. So don't get excited. Drama. No, it's positive. Pipe flaring. Cut the connection pipe with a pipe cutter. Standard stuff. The mouth of the connection pipe should face downward. This seemed really obvious to me, and I can't tell you how many times I did this wrong. Remove burrs with the cut surface so that the chips do not enter the pipe. Remove the cutoff valve of outdoor unit. Remove the cutoff valve of the outdoor unit and take out the flare nut from the bag of indoor unit accessories. Then fit the flare nut on the pipe, blah, blah, blah. I forget the flare nut all the time. But I'm thinking that when I would deburr something, How many times was I not paying attention and I deburred stuff and wasn't facing far enough downward where the stuff all fell out and maybe a few items stayed inside, and then maybe 10 years later I caused a problem. And no one knows about it, and I wouldn't say if it was me anyway. Very well, let's go on now. Just be careful for that. And let me see, why did I do this right here? I put this up here, and now I can't remember why I had put it up there. It says, notice, connect the pipe to the unit. Please follow the instructions stated in the figures below. Use spanner and torque wrench. So it's telling you to use a torque wrench. I think that's probably why I did it, because it's spelled out there, and they're very specific about using a torque wrench, and they have the actual torque that they want you to torque them down to, and the vacuum instructions are like the complete opposite of this, which is funny. It's pretty funny. It says confirm the tightening torque by referring to the following table. I think I'll put that up here, and hopefully that's the next thing I have up here, because that's sort of the funniness about this, is the fact that they, for some reason, they don't seem to care about the vacuum part of it, but this has the pipe diameter and the tightening torque in Newton meters, going from 1/4 inch tubing 15 to 30 Newton meters. It's a pretty big range, actually. And 7/8 is 80 to 85 Newton meters. So they have a whole chart there. Newton meters is non-America talk. Let's put it in inch pounds and foot pounds, guys. You know what I'm talking about? All right. And we go on farther, and we're at, my screen keeps jumping here. There is, this is your vacuum right here. All right, for the Flex 36 to 3-ton unit, vacuum for 30 minutes. That's not very specific. For the 60, you vacuum for 45 minutes. Also not very specific. Wait 10 minutes to see if the system pressure can remain unchanged. During this time, the reading of the pressure gauge at the low pressure side cannot be larger than 0.005 millipascals, megapascals. I think it's millipascals. I feel stupid now. MPa. Yeah. That's right, Kraus. Let's get this Newton meters out of here, and we're going to talk in foot pounds, because we do foot pounds, bro. Slightly open the liquid valve to let some refrigerant go into the connection pipe to balance the pressure inside and outside of the connection pipe, so that the air will not come into the connection pipe when removing the hose. Bam. Yes. So that's pretty interesting, because as detailed as it is in other areas, this vacuum is like totally, I use the word crappy. I think it's crappy right there. So that's kind of a funny thing, and they all do that. They all do that for some reason. I don't know. That's mini splits. You got to love them, or you got to hate them. One or the other. It's usually one of the two. All right, so let's see. We have the standard pipe length, which I thought would be interesting as well. Standard pipe length is 25 foot. Additional refrigerant amount for extra pipe says 0.32 ounces per foot. My brain is always 2/3. 2/3. So this is good you have this in here, because otherwise I'd be throwing 2/3 of an ounce per foot after 15 foot, which is typical with unitary stuff. But it's just a little bit different. That's why reading the manual is pretty important, because if you go out there to set this thing and you're adding extra refrigerant, then if you added for the old way, your unitary way, you'd have way more charge in there than if you did it by the book, which is, that's what we call bad in the industry. That's bad. I'm zipping through this thing, guys. I think when I put this up here, this is the electrical parameters for these units, and this has nothing to do with GRE. I just think it's good to learn about the electrical parameters of any unit. You have fuse capacity, maximum overcurrent protection, minimum circuit ampacity. The maximum overcurrent protection is like if you have a breaker on the unit, that's the biggest breaker they want you to put on it, basically. So if you go in there, it says maximum overcurrent, it says 35, and you put a 60, no, not good. Minimum circuit ampacity, that's basically how much electricity your wires got to be able to hold. So if you have a 24 amp ampacity, minimum circuit ampacity, you're going to be running a copper number 10 wire for that. But if you look down at the 60 and it's 35, you're not going to be able to run your number 10 any longer. You have to go to number 8. So fantastic. So now you know. It's important to check these things, because in some areas you guys are doing the electrical too, and some other areas electricians are doing it. So it's important to have all your bases covered. I'm moving right through these, man. I'm like a teacher or something, bro. DC inverter series for R410A unitary split air conditioner, and they have regular thermostat wiring. Look at that. You got your outdoor unit and you have a thermostat connected to it, and it's YBW1R and C. So everybody that's coming over from the Goodman program will be like, this is all right. This is all right here. Goodman. You got to love those guys over at Goodman. They make a good unit, guys. I mean, I don't care what anybody says. Did I just say that out loud? Okay. YBW1R and C. So simple wiring. This is just a small tidbit of this stuff, guys. A small tidbit. I just went through it and I thought it would be kind of interesting, but I want to say two things. I wanted to see more about this, and actually let me take my first break here. We'll come back because I wanted to mention a couple, one YouTube channel and one YouTube commenter here. We have some comments as well. Anything you guys want to do as well, we can talk about. I will say that you can jump in here if you have any questions or something you want to. Questions like I can answer your question, but if you have anything you want to say, you want to drop in for a minute or two and say something, there's a link. You can do that, and you're welcome to do so. Sounds like fun, right? All right, let's take a break, and then we'll pop back in here after these messages from Nabisco. Or was it Kraft Foods? To help you on jobs where space is an issue, Beckett has a CL20 low-profile condensate pump. It can still pump up to 20 feet of lift. It can handle water up to 150 degrees, and it still has that Beckett quality in a smaller package for your application. Find out more at BeckettUS.com. NAVAC Global won an Innovation Award at the recent AHR show, which is no surprise. They have all these new battery tools, including the NEF 6LM break-free power flaring tool, which can do 100 flares with one battery charge and only weighs 3 pounds. Find out more at NAVACglobal.com. The best HVAC companies understand they need to have the highest efficiency and quality in and out of the field. That means having a quality service management software that matches the high technical level of your work. Field Pulse is rated as the #1 HVAC FSM and #1 for both ease of use and customer service. On average, businesses grow 60% within their first year after signing up with Field Pulse. Start your free 7-day trial by going to the description of this podcast or YouTube video and clicking on my link. Then take your business to the next level with Field Pulse today. All right, we're back. Hope you guys learned a lot about macaroni and cheese or whatever the crap I put on there. I'm just kidding. I know. I watch it too. I watch it on the break going, hey, great sponsor ad, Zach. Hope these sponsors stay happy. But then I just stop and don't talk. Joshua says, Joshua wanted to come on to the show and talk about something. I forget what it was. I don't know. He might not have mentioned it. But he said he wants to plan it when there's not a kid jumping off of his face. So I think that's pretty reasonable. That's reasonable. Yeah. Okay. So we had some comments here. We can go over these comments, guys. We can talk about the Bosches. Hey, Mikey Pipes, he puts in lots of Bosches, right? Didn't you say you put in Bosches? All right, let me look back at your comments now. I don't know. He'll say it again, maybe. He loves Bosch. No, it says love Bosch. All right. So I don't think there's any Bosch comments, but there might be because Bosch is popular. People love Bosch. I keep seeing these people. They're like, I'm going to put in a Bosch. I'm like, I didn't know anyone even knew about Bosch. Bosch. Let's take these comments out. And we have the first one is from Sandra. Sandra says, this is on a video called Electric Furnace Runs Heat and Blower Constantly. Hello. Heat will not turn off when reaching set temp. It will turn off at the thermostat or by lowering the set temp down 1 degree. It will not turn off when reaching the set temp. This is kind of an interesting statement here because hey, Mike, I got a Bosch in the house now. It's better. It's better. So although one day we'll have to talk about the Bosches you put in and how you do it, because obviously you have your YouTube channel putting in all sorts of stuff. It'd be fun to talk anyway. But hello, the heat will not turn off when reaching set temp. Okay, you can turn it off at the thermostat or by lowering the set temp down 1 degree. So obviously it's responding. The thermostat's responding and the machine's behaving. So to me, guys, you can chime in on this. It sounds like it hasn't, just because it's reached the set temp, sometimes you still have to run before it'll shut off. So I'm guessing that might be it. It's kind of odd. It's kind of an odd thing that you actually have to lower the temperature down for it to work. I mean, thermostats can be faulty, but it doesn't sound like anything wrong with the machine itself. This comment was on a video, the heat and blower running constantly because one of the relays had failed, which is pretty common in electric furnaces. All right, let's see. What do you guys think of that one? You can still chime in. I'll go to the next comment, but you could still put your 2 cents in there. I think it has to be the thermostat. I didn't respond to her, so she'll never know. But I think it's a thermostat probably. What is your experience with Rheem mini split systems? I asked this on a post and had a bunch of guys weighing in on it. And I actually should have brought up, I'm going to bring it up on the other screen down here. See if I can do that. Oh, let's see. Community tab. Yeah, I got to 30,000 subscribers too. Mikey's like, I've gotten to 30,000 like a couple times. Well, it's special for me. All right, what is your experience with the Rheem mini split systems? Stuck relay. Susie Dunn says stuck relay. But they wouldn't turn off. They wouldn't turn off like that. Because them stuck relays, to me, if it's like a stack sequencer or something like that, it sticks and it keeps on a running. It keeps on a running. Joshua Seaton says degree flex is very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Ice White Ice, when asking about experience with Rheem mini split, says he's able to get parts for him. Board went out and he got it replaced quickly. So that's pretty important right there. You can actually get the parts for these, which can be a big deal nowadays. In the poll that I put up, it says, what is your experience with Rheem mini split systems, which is where this came from. I put positive, negative, and no experience. So no experience won with 73%. So most people haven't dealt with them. Negative is 12% and positive is 15%. Now, when I go to the comments here, I think most of them are positive. I've installed a fair few in Australia with no issues. I don't see anything here that's a negative about it. So there's no negative comments on the post. I don't know, guys. I mean, it just came up as something that I thought about. Adam was talking about it. Josh Rathine, I don't know what she's doing, but I think it's definitely in the thermostat. He says, I think she is pushing just hard enough on the thermostat to break a short behind it. I don't know what she's doing on that thermostat, but it must be one of them thermostats that misbehaving. Or it's just not reaching, like I was saying earlier. Sometimes when it shows the set temp and you've reached it, there's still like a partial degree setting where it hasn't quite reached the actual cutoff temperature. Sometimes that's what it is. I'm not sure. We'll never know. We'll never know. She'll never tell me. Okay, Sam Andrew commented, I'm a relative newcomer. Can you explain where Talon 875 comes from? Talon 875 is my original channel name, and Talon was a band I played in high school, and 875 is my lucky number. It was originally called Talon 875, and I switched it when I started the podcast. So there you go. That's what's all that about. Hopefully Sam gets that information. That's a quickie right there. Bam. And this is my buddy Iconalana Bagataga. That's how I pronounce his name. Iconabagataga. Carrier is the best HVAC unit. That's the video title. I title it like that as a narrative hook. Yep. I've changed out 3 Goodman heat pumps in the last month due to those small tubes on the condensers popping right past the 10-year marks on all 3. He says to put in Rheem Rudd with 3/8 tubing, much better built unit. Well, I'll tell you what, that might be true right there. I like the Rheem units, and back in the day, there were more than a few Goodman units that had actually started leaking. I don't know if he's talking about the condenser U-bends. I'm assuming he's talking about the U-bends on the condenser, but I had several Goodman and Amana units, and some of them were probably on YouTube, that started leaking at those top, like the third or fourth U-bend would leak on tons of them. I actually bought a few of these things from the supply house that came in flat and repaired them and resold them. So it was just, it happened a lot. And he's talking like it was 10 years later, which makes sense because that would have been about 10 years ago whenever I did that. So some of those actually got out there and lasted a little bit longer, maybe. I don't know. Mark Cotter says, based on just that information, I would say that if it's a heat pump, it's low on refrigerant and it won't kick out of first stage. The video it was on was about electric furnace, but you never know what the actual system is. It's true. So that's actually something where I was thinking about it in maybe a wrong way, is I was kind of thinking it was going to be the system that was in the video, and that might not be true. Because I think that video and a lot of the ones I've done are based on electric furnaces that are in trailers, because a lot of trailers use electric furnaces. Now they use heat pumps, but the older ones use electric furnaces. And the reasoning behind using an electric furnace, if you don't know, is that they're cheap. And they're cheap to put in, but they're expensive to run. So that's basically how the whole system works. This is price. This is installation price. This is running price. If it costs high to run, it's low to install. And if it's a nice green speed unit, it's low to run. So that's how it works. That's science. You're welcome, guys. That's science right there. All right, so I'm going to do one more time. I'm just going to make sure everybody has an opportunity. If you want to pop in here and talk on the other side, you can. And I'll put that in there one more time. Just talking for a couple minutes, just chit-chatting. Nothing too intense. No questions with music behind them unless you want to. And yeah, Pepsi can ductwork. That is the trailer home official ductwork. You can cut them with scissors. It is very, very, very thin. And it's a pain in the butt because they put the ductwork and then they put a layer of house wrap underneath it and they sandwich it all up, and it's just a pain in the butt to get to. But I lived in a modular trailer, if you will. It must have been a trailer. It looked like a trailer. They called it a modular, but it looked like a trailer. It was pretty trailer-like, in my opinion. I did forget that I had the other GREE screen up here. Let me see if I can plop out over there and see if I can find that. Is this going to be it? Oh, yeah. Okay. Because I was kind of curious what GREE, where they came from, because I have no idea. I just figured they're from China. Before we get started here, Mike in the chat says Rheem Rudd are having stock issues right now. Spoke with a dealer. He said factory rep told him they are trying to make them not only Tier 2 compliant, but able to be R458 compliant. Now, R458, ain't that blue one? Ain't R458A blue one, I think? HVAC technology. I've had a repair a few Rheem condenser heat pumps. They always seem to leak in the same spot on the discharge line. Joshua says it's taking forever to get the new Rheem line up to distributors. Okay. There's issues there. So more than one person have said there's issues with Rheem. So before you go try to jump on Rheem, just make sure there's something to jump to, guys. All right. So this is the GREE website. I was curious. It says in 1991, GREE set out to make the world a cooler place. Ha, that's funny. Cooler place. To this end, we've become a global leader in air conditioners, developing some of the most advanced commercial and residential air conditioners in the world. Based in Zhuhai, China, I'm surely pronouncing that correct. We're now the world's largest specialized air conditioner company, integrating R&D, manufacturing, sales, and service. It's our mission to innovate and create new ways to help people live well and stay comfortable. Blah, blah, blah. Sales crap. Here we're in 32 years in business, 180, blah, blah, blah. Sales crap. Okay. Innovation is our, let's see if there's any good stuff here. It's a bunch of junk. Well, it's not junk, but it's just stuff that's just put there to fluff it up. It's a fluffer, the GREE difference. Oh, let's see the GREE benefits. Why ductless? An interesting thing is I remember watching that webinar and in and out of dozing off and stuff. I did hear, I think most of them are Wi-Fi, if not all of them. I think they said GREE might be Wi-Fi. Let's get there. Why ductless? Let's see. Why ductless? As quiet as a whisper with power and efficiency. Ductless mini splits operate via an indoor air handler and outdoor compressor unit with utmost efficiency and climate control. Ideal for any room. Hey, that's all the rooms, guys. Any room. More affordable than replacing a central system. Well, I don't know about that. I don't know. Great for supplementing a central system. Supplementing. Okay. Yeah, I've seen people do that, I guess. The duct-free advantage precisely heats and cools only desired spaces. Well, that's a load of crap, because I've seen plenty of ductless units that way overshoot the mark. Maintains a constant temperature, no wild swings. All right, false. I'm sure that's not false for all of them. I'm just saying sometimes. Delivers up to 50% energy savings, up to 38 SEER. Wow. Avoid 30% heating and cooling loss from air passing through ductwork. 30%. El Dramatico here. Your ductwork has a takeoff just laying on the ground, it sounds like. Easy install, no mess in home, licensed contractor installation required for warranty coverage. Well, at least they said that, even if they didn't mean it. I'm just kind of curious. Energy efficiency. Oh, let's go down to the reliability tab. Does it say they last 5 to 6 years? reliability is in the design. Quiet, high efficiency fan. Tri-blade. And you got to mind me, guys, because I'm going to read this in my salesperson voice because I think it sounds befitting. Quiet, high efficiency fan. Tri-blade axial fan is resistant to high temperatures and operates quietly. Self-diagnosis. Automatic system diagnostics continuously scans for errors or malfunctions. Fault codes are shown on the unit display to facilitate troubleshooting and repair. In other words, we say lots of diagnosis because we need it. High temp resistance circuit boards. Are they resistant to frogs? We have a lot of frogs here. I'm not even going to read that because it doesn't mention frogs. Coil protection. Acrylic resin coil coating, less efficient. Maintains excellent heat transfer. Oh, they address that. Resists corrosive elements and provides years of reliable service. Years, that's 4 at least, right? Self-draining base pan. Well, they're supposed to self-drain. Easy handling. Outdoor unit is equipped with a handle for easy transportation. You can actually hook a chain to it, put it on your truck, and the gree goes down the street pretty easy. All right. That gree sounds like a winner to me, guys. I don't know about y'all. I'll take a couple of them. Donnie Jackson says Rheem Rudd will be R454B, installing a Gree Flex next week per customer request. Hopefully it's good. HVAC guy seems to like it, so that's a plus in my opinion. Man, thank you for bringing me back to what I was going to talk about like 15 minutes ago. So whenever I was kind of go over Gree a little bit so we could talk about it tonight, I watched HVAC guy. He did a video on him that's like 38 minutes long, and I'll be daggone if I need to get the link and put it in the live chat, because if you haven't watched it, it's really, really good. And daggone it, let me see if I can find it. HVAC guy, and I'll put Gree Flex. That should do it. That ought to do it. All right, so that's okay. Full install of the Gree Flex 3-ton 20 SEER inverter system. I am going to put share, and I'm going to paste. There we. Okay. Well, that's not what I meant to do. That's a StreamYard thing. You can jump in if you want to. All right, paste. Let's see. That is the video right there. Again, he has a few of them. So, and he has some where he comes back. I haven't watched the one where he comes back. I should probably do that, but there's a few videos on that. Mark says, I like the side discharge units quiet and easy to clean. I prefer Daikin Fit. Maybe we'll look at the Daikin Fit next time. Art Central Systems, always 50% oversized. What are you going to supplement? Hit Art Central. I think it means just regular split systems, but he's right. They're always oversized. You're right. They don't need supplementation unless they're broken. They're breaking them. They're going to add a mini split to offset the coil leaks. Maybe. I don't know. That sounds like a great idea. That's a money saver right there. So I mentioned HVAC guy. Make sure you watch his stuff anyway, because it looks like he knows what he's doing. And he did a very important thing in the video, which I thought I should mention. He made mistakes with the flares, and he left them in the video. So good on you, HVAC guy. That's admirable. So thumbs up to HVAC guy for being so humble and wonderful. And the other thing I wanted to say is I want to give RJ Parker, who watches this show, a shout out for helping me out. Just recently, I've become, one of my interests involves learning more about different types of motors and their construction and parts, down to, just every piece inside the motor, not just taking the shell and installing like a blower motor, but what's inside, what does it do specifically, why is it designed the way it is. And RJ has assisted me quite a bit by sending me some documentation. RJ is an engineer, and he has a lot of knowledge, and he's willing to share it. So I want to say thank you, RJ. I appreciate that. Mark says HVAC guy is a good and honest technician. Absolutely. He seems that way. I haven't watched a whole lot of his stuff, but it definitely seems that way. Thomas Lex says, my travels in China over the last 20 plus years. My wife's placed Gree units 15, 20 years old. No problem. Hey, that's pretty good then. I don't know if I've ever seen a mini split that's 20 years old. Of course, in our area, in our country, they weren't as prevalent, and they still aren't as prevalent as overseas. So I guess that makes more sense that I wouldn't have seen one. The likelihood would be lower. Okay. So HVAC guy, RJ Parker, thank you. All right, we're going to take our last break, and we're going to pop back to round things out here. If you want to jump in, I left the link up there to jump in for a few minutes. Talk about whatever you want. Or else we'll just wrap it up and go on our merry way. If you enjoy HVAC Shop Talk, live streams, and podcasts, you can support us in a variety of different ways. The very simple way on YouTube is to hit that like button and make sure that you are subscribed. If you're subscribed, make sure you're taking part in our live chats. If you want to take it a step further and really help us out, you can join and become a member of this channel. The link to join this channel is in the description of every video. If you're listening to the HVAC Shop Talk podcast, a really easy thing to do is whatever app you're using, make sure you're subscribed to the podcast so you get a constant feed. Also, take a few minutes and leave a review for the podcast as well. That tells Apple and every other app that you're enjoying the show and you're enjoying the interaction, and that way they'll put it out there to new people all the time. If you want to take your support a step further from the podcast vantage, go to subscribestar.com/Zach-Ciota. You find a link to that in the description of every podcast and video. You can become similar to a channel member, except it's just a different format. I appreciate it, guys. I appreciate it, girls. Anyone watching, and let's get on with the show. The Yellow Jacket CA502 Combustion Analyzer is a simple yet detailed way to look at a heating system. You can perform draft, pressure, and temperature measurements. There's high CO protection for your device, field replaceable sensors, a 12-month warranty. There is an available wireless printer, has built-in dual pressure manometer, and a whole host of other features. You can find out more about Yellow Jacket's brand new combustion analyzer at yellowjacket.com. If you're expanding a system and you're going to zone a system, sometimes you're going to run into issues getting thermostats into particular locations. EWC solves that issue with the EWT-955WH thermostat. It has several features beyond being wireless. You can use it for gas, oil, heat pump, multi-stage systems, heat only, cool only, millivolt, humidity, and dual fuel, just to name a few. Find out more at EWCControls.com. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I put the link for HVAC Guy's channel in there if you want to watch him. Pretty good stuff. Yeah, as you can see, this is what I tinker with stuff. I don't tinker with it. I try to, whatever activity I'm doing, I like to do it to make some sort of inroads towards providing for my family. So I enjoy tinkering with stuff. So I rebuild power tools, which I'm about to put a video up on the other channel, and I'll rebuild a Ryobi table saw. Took everything apart, cleaned it up, redid it, repainted it. It's black now. It's not Ryobi green puke anymore. It's black. But that'll be a video up, I don't know, next couple days maybe. But, taking stuff apart, learning about these motors, important. I think it's important. I have a hard time with stuff whenever I don't understand how it works. I don't have confidence working on something unless I feel like I understand its function and understand how it does what it does, at least to a certain degree. Like, I'm pretty comfortable working on heat pumps, but I don't know every bit of logic and what every piece of a circuit board does in a defrost controller. But I still feel pretty comfortable because I understand exactly what it's doing, when it's supposed to do it, and that a board is saying to do something at a certain time. I can check a reading on a board and say, all right, this system is in defrost, but the board outside's not putting out the W signal to the heat strips on the inside. Something is wrong with this board. Check dip switches and things like that, but typically, there's a failure in the board. A lot of times in defrost controllers, the little black relay on it for the fan, it fails. And the fan either never shuts off, the relay welds shut where it doesn't shut the fan off and just runs during defrost, which just makes defrost inefficient. It'll still defrost, but if you imagine when a heat pump defrosts, the fan shuts off and it switches to an AC because the outer coil becomes very hot because it's a condenser coil again for that short period of time. Well, if the fan's running, it's going to start rejecting heat instead of keeping it right there on the coil, so it's not going to be nearly as efficient. It might work, not if it gets really, really cold and icy outside, but it might work. Joshua Seaton says his good, better, best is Bosch is the best, IDS Premium, Rheem 14 SEER, and a big bag of ice and a box fan. Talk about being cheaper, though, Is that the selling point? This bagging, just got to keep buying the bags, but it's going to be a while before you get to the price of the other two. You can buy your bag, and then you buy your fan. What's up, Cannon Casey? My buddy Cannon Casey. So that's pretty much where we're at, guys. There ain't much going on here. We're going to shut it down. I know it's getting late. Well, it's 9:30. It's not really late, but it's getting later. I'm going to go spend some time with my wife. I hope we learned a lot about Gris tonight. just started a conversation about it, guys. If you want to reach out to me, you can do so at hvacshoptalk@gmail.com. You can always leave comments on the videos. I check out all the comments. I don't always answer all the comments. I try to pick some and bring them out to the show so we can talk about them, spur conversation. We're going to do some interviews coming up. I'm going to start doing interviews periodically. Not a whole lot. I like talking to you guys, but we need to have some blood in here, some new blood, some educated blood in here to talk to. I know, like Dave Richardson, them. Dave's been on the show like 150 times, but I love talking to him. So we're gonna start doing that again. If Ted were here, I'd tell him we were gonna play the skilled trade up in the next month or two. I just got to get some good prizes. And right now we have one good prize, which is the combustion analyzer, but it's gonna be summer, so I mean, it's like, okay, super. I can't wait 4 months to use this. It's gonna be great. You may use it in the summertime, depending on what kind of work you're doing, but you know what I'm saying. Thank you, Mikey. Mikey says, good show. Clint gives me the thumbs up. Thank you. Raw Mason says, nice show. So take the time to put a like on the video if you enjoyed it. If you disliked the video, still put a like on it. Just imagine it's upside down, if that works for you. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. If you're listening to this as a podcast, if you will take the time to go leave a podcast review, that would be awesome. Really, really awesome. Thomas says, here's good advice coming. Got to keep the wife happy. It says got to keep the white happy. That sounds racist, but I'm pretty sure he says got to keep the wife happy. Yeah, he corrected it already. I worked on a Saturday for 3.5 hours. The wife's deal is I have to give her 100% of the money if I work on Saturdays. I don't want to do it. Weaver, I was wearing the brown shirt. Where have you been? I wore the brown shirt the other day, and these guys were like, why are you wearing a Cleveland Brown shirt? Who's doing Cleveland Browns? Thank you, John. I appreciate super chat from John 50. Yeah, you can't support the chat. I don't mention this. Maybe I should, so people actually do it. You can super chat during the live chats. There's a button at the bottom of the screen. You should be able to super chat. You can also become a channel member. Channel members, it's like a monthly thing, like Patreon. Go to the video. You see a join thing underneath, like where it says subscribe in your channel when you're watching a video. At the bottom will say join. You can hit that too. Okay. You saw it, man. You should have said something. I told him, I said, with this shirt on and my good thoughts, Mikey, you can send stickers. Absolutely. The guys love stickers, man. That'd be great. I appreciate it. HVAC Shop Talk at gmail.com, and I'll give you my address. You can send stickers. I appreciate that. It's very nice of you. Thank you, Mario. But I was saying, the Cleveland's going to go to the Super Bowl because Bernie Kosar cannot be stopped. Okay? Bernie Kosar is on fire, and if he hits those receivers, not even the Cincinnati Bengals and Icky Woods can stop them. Okay? Not even Icky Woods and the Icky Shuffle can stop Bernie and the Cleveland Browns. I'm going to leave it right there, guys. I think I've said enough, and I think we're all quivering in fear for the Browns' next Super Bowl run, which will be in the year 2525, if I'm still alive, which I won't be. Thank goodness. I'll be ready to be dead by 2525. Again, thank you, John. I appreciate the super chat. It's very nice of you. I will go spend that money at Dollar General to make good use of it and buy a lot of products that I need at low prices. HVAC Shop to email me. What is your email? I'll send you stickers. Okay, well, I'll email you. Just put down whatever your email is, and I'll send it to you. Maybe it's on your YouTube channel. I just look at your YouTube channel. It's probably written down there. Hey, this is like conversation that doesn't belong live. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Go have fun with your wives. You know what I'm talking about, right? Saturday night special time. You know, Tom. I don't want to say this, but I just love saying this. Okay, I just love the phrase. Whenever they talk about special time, I said it's time for the wife to go legs up. That's what I like to say. Oh my gosh. All right. Having said that, I do believe in Jesus, and I'm just going to tell you, everything goes through Jesus. That's to kind of cancel out the fact that I just said that, but it's absolutely true. I'm going to get out of here before it gets worse. Thank you, guys. And I will see you. Let me stall for a second on the next one.